Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Communications. I'm Jen from Jen's Little Corner. My guests tonight are Mama Atheist, pointing in the wrong direction. Jay from Nevermore Tavern, Atheist Pastor, and Vagrant Sam. Why don't you go ahead and show yourselves? We'll start with Mama Atheist. I only did that because I knew you weren't paying attention. I know you don't. Do you want us all to shill for you? Yeah. Alright, well, whilst you recover yourself, Jay, why don't you show yourself? Yeah. Yeah, Yep. Oh. There's no sound. There should be sound. Yeah, I've got no muting on, so what the hell's happening? Yeah, I know. It's not us, it's the chat. Can only hear me. Okay. This could be because I haven't. Yeah, hang on. No, I think I know what it is. Sorry, guys. This is because I had a change of software.
If they can't hear me, fuck.
Fuckity fuck.
Oh. Alright, you guys keep talking and we'll just see if the chat can hear you. I love technical difficulties. Alright, they obviously can't hear you because there's nothing showing up in my chat. No, they can't. I can see that they can't. Alright, why don't I have that? Headphones, that should be the one. Oh, right, there we go. Now they can hear you.
Yay!
Okay, Jay, why don't
they
you
heard
yourself?
So does that mean no one heard about the story with Sam and the donkey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for another story. We'll save that for Friday night.
You had to be there, though.
Yeah.
Friday night.
That story
Friday
when I
night.
hit
You've got to be at
200
Friday night 6-pack to hear that story.
Yeah.
They did say they heard.
I'm not telling that story unless it's for my channel.
Alright, Jay, show yourself.
Hi.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He reckons everyone knows him.
I'm pretty sure everybody here knows who I am. So
Yeah, but if ever I blow up and become big, they may not if somebody watches it in the future. So show yourself.
say everybody that's here knows who I am.
Fine.
No, I'm Jay from the Nevermore Tavern. I do interviews, I do roundtables, I do debates. Yeah, that's about it. I'm slacking on my Richard Ramirez. I did not get it done this weekend. I sat down to record it a couple times and it just didn't sound right. So I didn't have that voice right this weekend. So I'm going to try to get it done this week and we'll see what happens. So, but that's all I got. I got Zaposte Saturday at 7 and Amanda at 9.
Yeah.
That's what's going on this weekend.
You had a busy weekend with guests, haven't you?
Yeah. Still waiting
Saturday
for
morning, Jay.
Huh?
You're doing something Saturday morning too.
Oh yeah, me and Amanda. We'll leave that for you. You can show that one out.
I don't.
Yeah, good idea.
That's your job when it gets to you. It's on your channel. Sam.
All right, so I'm Sam. I'm on the channel Vagrant Sam. Pretty easy, that one. I have finally done a new video. Yay!
A good video. It was a good video.
Why didn't I get a notification? Or maybe I
you
did.
don't have the bell. So remember, when you hit subscribe, people, click the notification bell so you're part of the Vagrant army and you'll have it delivered straight into your inbox. Is that how they do it? Anyway. So, yeah, I may even have more time to do videos coming in the future because I might be working from home a lot more, which will be nice. But, yeah, so my most recent video... Yeah. Fun times. But so my latest video was looking at there was a news article from a few weeks ago where there was a petition that was put around. Mr. Bear, Atheist, he was really hitting that drum on Twitter and really advocating that Indigenous people should have the right to be left alone from evangelizing Christians. And there was a bit of a debate between, in the end, it was Godless Engineer and Bird's Eye View. I had some opinions when I heard about this a couple of weeks ago, and I finally had a chance to do a video. So go and check it out if you're interested in listening to why it might not be a great idea for Indigenous people, whether they're Australian or American or whatever part of the world, why they potentially, I think, should have the right to self-determine when it comes to those sort of cultural and religious things. So check it out.
Cool. Awesome. So go check out Sam and sub to Sam.
I'm sure Dave's posted the link.
Atheist Pastor.
Yep. Before I shill myself, how many subs are you at, Sam?
128 at the moment.
Okay,
Oh, yeah. So my next video is probably going to be a hip-hop video, maybe.
22
So
more subs.
150 is what we need to get Sam to. So if anyone is in the chat and hasn't subscribed to Sam, please subscribe to Sam, because what Sam's going to do is he's going to release his old Christian rap.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
so
I am
for
so
a
keen
bit
to
of
see.
a bit of context, you can actually see one of my other old videos, which was before the current one. That's not the best way to put it, but I do have a video out there where I actually look at Christian hip hop and whether I thought they're still held up even as an atheist, and that got me all nostalgic. I actually ended up doing a bit of a Google search and managed to dig deeply enough to find a track from 2001 that I used to perform live with a group. And I'm not talking just church groups. I'm talking that did get some limited radio play. We did perform in front of secular audiences, like at the Schoolies event here in Australia. And funnily enough, the clip I found, so where I've actually found it, I'm going to rip it from, it was played as recently as 2014 on a radio station, a local radio station, not national or anything. So, it's
Pretty good.
There you go.
yeah. I'm not saying it's the best thing you've ever heard, but it's a legitimate piece of art, I think. So.
That's always
Chilled.
good to have good
Done.
art. All done. Yeah. And Chris seems to have wandered off. So
He said I'll be right back.
okay.
Yeah.
I missed that. Amanda. What have you got on the go?
I'm starting a new show on Saturday, and I don't know which way Jay is, so Jay's doing my first show.
He's on your left.
This way?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
way.
Yes. Although I'm looking at the wrong screen, so I can't actually say.
Yeah.
Do the thing so I know which one's left. Oh God. Yeah. So I'm just doing like a chill show on Saturday mornings, talking about one television show with every episode with a guest they get to pick. And
Oh, that's awesome.
so Jay's doing my first one, and he's fine. We're talking about Buffy and Angel,
Yeah.
obviously. So, and that's about it, I guess. Working with Chris.
You've got a special show on another special show on Saturday.
Oh yeah, we have God This Engineer on Critical Bitches on Saturday. That's exciting.
And that'll be on Amanda's channel. So it won't be replayed on Amanda's. It'll be live on Amanda's and replayed on mine later. So please follow Amanda if you want to catch that, because it should be an amazing interview. And and Amanda's been really looking forward to it.
Yes, I have. And I have a climate change video too. But I have
Nice.
to retape it because my audio is all screwed up in my first version. I had a really crazy week last week, so I just have to redo it. It's all
Sorry, I need to
go.
jump really quickly here. I've just tried to make a phone call. It didn't work. Lissy Lou, if you're in the chat, come home now, please.
She was in the chat.
Yeah, she was.
So if you're in the chat, Lissy, can you come home now?
Okay.
So-
All right.
Oh, and Sam and I are working on something too.
Oh,
Yes.
lovely. See, you've got lots of stuff to show. And if you're not following Amanda, I don't know why everybody in this chat wouldn't be following Amanda, because everyone seems to be following Amanda now. But please go and sub to her and follow her on Twitter, because Amanda's lovely and she's a really, really important part of our community. Which brings us to communities. I will wait until...
Segue. Sorry. I'll stop doing that.
What was that? We'll move on with what we were going to talk about, and we'll let Chris show himself when he gets back, if he gets back. Obviously, there's more important things for Chris to actually have to deal with.
Chris, if you can hear me, Lucy says she's on her way, by the way. Okay. I don't know if he's still attached.
Yeah.
So.
Whatever it is, it's more important than this, and that's fine. If he can get back in, we'll deal with it. He can show himself later, and he can join in the conversation when he returns. So, the whole reason for doing this video, and it was sort of organized at the last minute, is us five especially, but also a larger group of us, have sort of made our own personal community within Twitter and within YouTube of creators and people attached to creators and that, who work together to try and get out good content and have positive feedbacks for all the other people within the group. We've made our own community to support each other and be there for each other. And I, for one, I don't think I would cope with actually doing any of this if I didn't have these people around me. When I've had really bad weeks or been ultra stressed out or anything, I have relied heavily on Sam, Chris, Jay especially, and Amanda especially too, who Amanda and I have spoken on the phone at numerous times at weird o'clock hours, haven't we, Amanda? And Jay has been absolutely amazing, and so is his wife Raven. As far as people go, this is our extended personal community, and we see it an absolutely enormous value to this as a community. So it's one of the reasons we wanted to do this, but we also wanted to do this to point out some of the things we're all planning on doing with changes in the stuff we're doing on our channels, like changes Jay's made, changes I'm looking at making, plus some of the new stuff that's going to be come up, which we've already spoken about with people like Amanda and Chris's Exodus. Did I say that right, Amanda? Mm-hmm. Channel.
Exodus Youth. Yeah.
Yeah, which is for young atheist kids. But not just about atheism stuff, because Jay's a Buddhist. He's not an atheist. But he's still part of this community, because this is our... Oddly enough, it's almost kind of like our fellowship, even though none of us are particularly... I mean, Jay's a Buddhist, but he's not a religious Buddhist. He's about the... You're more about the meditation and the growth side and philosophy side of it, aren't you, Jay?
Yeah, the more self-aware type, being more positive, not being so. I know it's kind of weird because not being so materialistic. A lot of this though was from before, and I've collected a lot. I don't see it as materialistic in that sense, because every Saturday I have I say here, well, it's Friday morning, sorry. Friday morning 6-pack, and I have a drink with you guys. That's the only time I drink, because I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah. And
this was my way of freeing myself from drinking, along with my amazing wife. Those two things have helped me from being a full-blown alcoholic. I can now, I've got to the point where I can have a drink without getting drunk. Where before, is if I had one, it was drink till I pass out. So this was kind of so I don't consider this materialistic for me. It's more of a
therapy.
Like a therapy kind of thing. So, but sense. Yeah, it's a lot of self-realization, letting go of a lot of things, that kind of a Buddhist. I don't believe in the demons and the hells and the reincarnation, that kind of stuff, but more of the, be kind, stuff like that.
All the good bits.
All the good bits.
Well, isn't there like a very specific philosophical form of Buddhism? Like,
yeah, it's called
it's not all.
Yeah, it's called secular Buddhism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, in that sense, I mean, a lot of people who are secular Buddhists actually consider themselves atheists as well, don't they? So yeah, because they don't actually believe in a god or anything supernatural. They just, which is more or less where you are. So even though you're a Buddhist, you're closer to being an atheist than even some of the atheists out there.
That's kind of what Angel is. Jay and I have had this discussion before when he first came to me about what he had decided his faith was. He said he was a Buddhist atheist, which Jay explained to me was secular Buddhism. He doesn't believe in a god or any of the supernatural stuff, but he believes a lot of the tenets of Buddhism. So,
mine particularly Zen Buddhism. Not so much the Sanskrit, because Sanskrit Buddhism or the like out of India and whatnot, they that kind of Buddhism lays heavily on the supernatural aspect. From what I've seen, I could be wrong. I didn't look much into it because it didn't fall for me, but I did find that the Taoism and Zen Buddhism both fit more of what I feel, that kind of thing.
And in terms of, you were talking about community. For me, one of the reasons I do this, the channel and all of this, is just to be part of this community, because this community, you guys and everybody out there, is what keeps me and Angel kind of grounded in this really fucked up, isolating place that is the American South. So it helps us a lot. And I've found, like I've said before, we've kind of found our family with each other. So it's been really fun being able to do stuff together and stream together and make shows together. But it's the stuff in between too that's really great. Just being able to talk to each other and whatever. It means so much more than, I don't know. It makes sense, like what you said about us having, it's like a congregation almost, because as people not of faith or people that don't belong to churches or whatever, we don't really have that. And a lot of people, when they find out you don't have belief in a God, they were like, where is your sense of community? And I guess we didn't really have that for a long time, but we did end up finding that here. So.
And that's what I find really important about this. I mean, you're right, because people come out of a church environment, and that church environment is so heavily based around the community. In fact, it's the community elements of a lot of faiths is what drags people in, and I think Sam would probably agree with me with that.
Yep, definitely.
And people, when they move away from that, find that's the thing that may draw them back. And so we need communities outside of outside the mainstream religion that can be there for people, so you can feel part of something without having to have that God the Creator thing being shoved down your throat behind it. And I think that's what's very important about us as a community. And I look through the chat and I see all these people that are in there, like Donna and Mathbeg and Grumpy Old Dude, Isism and that, and they're all part of our broader community. Our community is huge and massive, and we're all there for each other. I mean, Mathpig's done a brilliant promo for you for this weekend's Critical Pictures. And, well, for us, yes, it is ours. But I will be on your channel, so. And that's just amazing, and thank you, Mathpig, because these little sort of things we all do for each other, and it's part of being that big supportive community, and it shouldn't just be about us as creators on YouTube. It should be about us as people as well. We should be reaching out to each other and sharing stuff with each other. I mean, not necessarily personal stuff and all that, because, I mean, we only know each other from online. But as we get to know each other, we should be able to feel free to have these friendships that are sometimes only over a webcam or over the typing of a keyboard, and occasionally through WhatsApp and the phone call and whatever. But we should be able to feel that these communications that we have with each other are part of our broader community, and and part of what gives us strength as individuals, because there's a lot to be said for that in religion, the strength that community can give you, and we need that too. It's a very important part of us, and if you don't have that community, then I think you miss a large part of personal growth.
I think to some degree, I feel like our community is a little bit more genuine, whereas you have people in church that connect just because they believe the same God and go to the same church, and that's really their foundation for their community. And I think that we've found each other in different ways, but we connect on so many different levels as well. And I think
I agree.
that makes such a big difference.
Welcome
You okay?
back, Chris. Is everything
Hey,
okay, Chris?
sorry about that. Yeah, we just had a bit of a. My daughter's an asthmatic, so we just had a bit of an asthma scare. Couldn't find puffers, things like
that's
that.
not good.
Everything's
good.
okay. Lucy was
Everything's
around the
okay.
corner. Yeah, incidentally, I just got a message for the people out there who are hoarding. If you want to hoard toilet paper, all well and good. To the assholes who are hoarding medical things like asthma puffers, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Fair point.
I'd say fuck
Completely-
you to the
completely off
people
topic
hoarding
there, but-
toilet paper as well. If you're hoarding stuff, because I mean, in all honesty, because of coronavirus, things like online communities like us is even so much more important, because you're going to be cut off probably in the future of, at least for a little while. I think travel restrictions are going to get worse than that as things get worse, and people are going to be able to less be to people who are nearer to them. So this kind of communication, online videos, Discord, Twitter, is going to be a large part of our social aspects for a lot of us. I mean, if they're not already. Yeah, and I lost track of where I was going with this.
Like as recently as Friday, so a lot of the corona stuff sort of really intensified over the weekend and sort of on Monday. And on Friday, it was funny because I was out catching up with a mate, probably one of the closest friends I've got. Like, we've been friends since grade 7, I think. So it's a long time because I'm a pretty old dude. But like, you know, even just that interaction.
I didn't want to say that, mate, but you kind of
bit elderly.
Well, we get to get called elderly, didn't we, Sam?
Yeah. But like, you know, we're catching up, we're having drinks. There was 5 of us there, and like, he's like, you know what? After this, I'm probably not going to socialize for a couple of months because, you know, he's a long time smoker, so he's feeling like he's at risk, and he's cutting off his physical community. And yeah, like, online community and this way of engaging with people is going to become important for people in the next 6 months, maybe even more, to keep people engaged with other people. And not, you know, we're social animals, so it's going to be tough if people don't reach out and, you know, value online communication, because it's still really new and there's still a bit of a stigma about, oh, they're only my online friends. It's like, well, no, they can be just as close and sometimes closer, because maybe you share a little bit more openly with people online when you're typing than you do when you're face to face with someone and cracking open a beer and worried about whether or not they're going to judge you.
Exactly.
One thing that's interesting, actually, and it's relevant to me, I guess, in a way, but in the news today, they had anyone who's got a wedding, cancel your wedding. Don't have it.
Yep.
I've got 2 weddings in the next week. And
Yeah, I'm 2 in the next 2 weeks.
I'm genuinely considering, do I actually want to attend? Is it worth it?
My friends cancelled them outright. Like, one in Melbourne and one here in Brisbane, and they've both cancelled their weddings until one of them rebooked in November, and I think the other's looking around October.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Well,
I'm surprised.
I
haven't had
being
that.
cancelled because I was supposed to go to a bingo night on the weekend with my niece, and that got cancelled, and there was only like about 60 people meant to be there. But that's the thing of it. I mean, just because we have government saying, oh, no more than 500 people meeting together, doesn't mean that less than 500 is safe.
Yeah, it's just the government trying to balance, hey, let's not completely ruin small businesses and stuff, versus what the risk is. So it's a really tough line for them, and I don't envy that position at all.
Yeah, Michigan, I was saying in the chat earlier, Michigan just basically closed all restaurants and bars and stuff. You can't go to the gym. You can still do grocery shopping, but like restaurants, fast food joints, dining's done. You can't go into any carry out, delivery, or drive through only.
Yeah, we're getting that, I think, from tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was, well, I mean, it's St. Patrick's Day here today. I'm in a region that's got about 500,000 people. There was 100 people who went to the only Irish pub for St. Patrick's Day. That place is really packed with lineups that you can't get through, and thousands of people in there.
And that's
100
the thing.
people.
I mean, community's good, but sometimes you have to modify how we're doing our communities because the public benefit is more important than.
Oh, absolutely. And look, I apologise because I know I'm coming in late, and you guys have probably covered this already. But this is where communities like ours are important, and why it's important that people do engage. Whether it's online on streams, whether it's in the chat, it's on Twitter. However we engage with each other, I think it's important that everyone here is everyone in general is mindful that this is probably going to be the social outlet for the next little bit. This is it.
Yeah.
Well, and Esism said something earlier. He said this is an opportunity to gather and build now that the world is quarantined. And he's not wrong. I mean, take this opportunity to build up our voices while we have a chance to. So
I was excited. Sorry, Jay.
No, I was just go ahead, Sam, because mine just kind of a little.
Yeah, I was just really excited. I'm like, yes, there's going to be an audience of people to watch my videos, and more people are going to be on YouTube. So now's the time. Strike while the iron is hot.
No, all I was going to say is there's a wild Lizzie running through the background again.
There she goes.
I could do the David Attenborough. Yeah, and the Lizzie is running through in her native habitat. And if you watch, you will notice the wine that is carefully clutched as she attempts to drink it very, very slowly.
I was going to say,
the worst thing is, all David Attenborough videos end with animals having sex. So if I go offline again, if I drop out of the stream, it's
it's either sex or a gazelle being taken down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's more fun.
I mean, it could be both.
Actually, who am I kidding? I've got 3 kids and coronavirus is doing the rounds. She's not going near me.
Social distancing, 1.5 meters. Hope you got a king size bed.
Yeah, 1.5 meters away.
I wonder if it makes that much of a difference. People are piling on top of each other, shopping. If coronavirus is everywhere, shopping alone will spread it to everyone.
Yeah.
I think it's actually the static.
Yeah, it's the face-to-face.
So when you say at a sporting arena, you're static, you're constantly in the same place. Whereas shopping centres, it's a lot of them are open air or more open spaces. So I think there is that slight bit of a difference. So you can see I think they've got variance numbers. I think they're saying for things like shopping centres, they don't want any more than 1,000, but 500 for static events. Although I think that's going to drop to 100.
But please, everybody, wash your fruit and veg.
And your hands.
And your hands, yeah.
Wash your fucking hands. Why is it so hard?
Michigan here has basically anything. You can't have anything over 50 people. And my workplace has made it so it's like everybody's got to stay at least 6 feet away from each other. I'm like, that doesn't work in a shop.
Wow.
That's sorry. That just doesn't work in a shop.
Yeah.
No, it never does, unfortunately. But sorry.
A lot of people are stuck home with their kids, and they don't. Like I was talking to Jassa earlier tonight, and they don't have paid sick leave, so they can just take their vacation days to stay home with their kids. That's all. That's the only opportunity that you have, and there's no choice there. You stay home with your kids. You have no choice, or you go to work. It's impossible. It's an impossible situation. So
it's a good.
When you say there's people stuck at home with their kid, you're talking about Twink Jesus, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I'm stuck with him.
Little twink angel.
Yes, he literally just went to bed like I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes ago, and it's 7:00 in the morning. So Yeah.
Oh, hang on, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
So he's been up all night playing Roblox
yeah.
or something.
Well, you tell him that his Australian stepfather is very disappointed and he can go to bed earlier tomorrow night.
Without dinner?
Well, it depends if he behaves himself during the day. Okay.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see. He'd better be good though.
Well.
I love it. So, as we're talking about building our communities, one of those things will be yours and Amanda's and Chris's new channel, Exodus, which will be a community for younger kids coming out of religion, but a community which adults within the community can get involved to help those kids as well.
Yeah, and not just for kids coming out of religion. I guess it's a bit of a broad blanket for kids in general. There will be kids who have got questions, who might be in religious situations and they've got questions and they've got no one they can ask. So we'll be there for them. But we also want to be there for the kids who are actually in atheist families right now. Now they might be the only atheists in their community and sort of be missing that connection. Or they could be in a community where, atheism is a thing, but they really don't understand it, or it's not really something that's spoken about. Yeah. So we want to make sure that we're there for, I guess, a variety of kids. But I'll let Amanda talk more about that.
Well, that I can talk about because it's not about me personally. No, it to be able to just answer faith-based questions across the board, like you said, whether they're atheists themselves, or they think they might be, or they're questioning, or even if they're religious and just have questions about faith or atheism, just a place where teenagers can learn about faith and about the fact that there are different beliefs out there. Like I said, when I first started this, it was my son's friend who had asked me about it, and it was hard for him to understand that somebody didn't believe in God. It was hard for him to understand that somebody could be a Buddhist instead of a Catholic or any other type of Christian even. It was hard for him to wrap his head around that. So to be able to see that there are different faiths and different beliefs and different variations of belief, in order for these kids, whatever they may believe, to not feel so alone or to be able to explore their beliefs themselves. So I hope that it did justice.
And to help them build a community like the one that we're building.
Exactly.
So.
And the thing that's important with this as well is this isn't a me thing or an Amanda thing. This is a channel that's for these kids. And I'm hoping that we actually get some younger people who'll come and take the reins, because, I mean, as cool and young as I think I am, I'm sure that teenagers don't really want to hear from a daggy person in their 30s. So it's we're hoping that we can maybe twink Jesus' arm to do a show or two.
Yes, he's offered to help, so we'll depend on the mood that day.
Get more on board who are prepared to help.
And that's the thing. This is actually something where we need the community to jump on board and support it. Look, it's not about the views, it's not about the subs. It's about reaching the one aspect of our community that I think has not intentionally been neglected, but has been neglected, and that's the younger people. So anyone who has a skill set in the community, whatever you can do to help, please do. I know Easyism is doing some stuff for us at the moment, and thank you so much. I haven't had the chance to have a chat to you yet, but thank you so much for what you're doing. But anyone else who can, please do reach out to us, and as much as you can help us, please do.
Yeah, if you have anything you want to contribute or add, or any questions at all, feel free to DM either of us or any of us. And even if
you want to come on because you've had experiences, or maybe you're someone who did go through. I was essentially an atheist, but as a teenager, but didn't care, and I became a Christian in my 20s. But maybe you're someone who has been through that journey, and maybe there's something you can impart. Maybe you can sort of let us know what the younger people are going through, what to expect. Look, anything.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to come and have a chat. Maybe you're a parent who's got questions or has topics you think we can cover. Anything that can help us, I guess, help those who are most vulnerable in our community. Please get in touch.
And Chris said something a while back that really resonated, that, like he said, we don't care about views. If we can just reach one kid, help one kid out, feel, a little bit better about themselves, or understand a little bit more about their own beliefs or anybody else's, that's what matters to us. So that's about it.
Just want to throw a real quick while we got a pause here. It's grumpy old Dave, Ed. It's his wife's birthday today. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Hang on, Ed. What's your wife's name? Throw it out there. This is something we need to know, because I think you guys know what I'm going to make.
Oh, you're going to make us sing, are you? No.
Oh, yes, we're going to sing. Sam, you can rap it if you want.
Last time we tried singing Happy Birthday together, it was God
dreadful.
It was dreadfully.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Oh, you lot of no fun. Come on, this is community. What do communities do?
We say happy birthday, have a wonderful day, really enjoy yourself, have a few on us, and
we won't subject her to our singing.
And we will not subject
That's
you
our
to singing.
present.
The true gift.
All right, people, we have a name. It's Amber.
Amber.
Happy birthday, Amber.
Happy birthday, Amber.
Happy birthday, Amber.
We're going to do this, yeah?
No.
No, bugger it. No, I'm going to count.
You've got to do the non-copyrighted version.
Oh, it's not copyrighted
No,
anymore.
it's not copyrighted anymore.
Oh, really? When did it come free?
About 18 months ago.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
wow.
say a year and a half ago.
Wow.
There goes that little tidbit.
Crap.
I'll give you all an
Wrong with
out.
that.
And obviously, you don't want to. Okay, so we're going to do this, yeah?
Alright. Do we have to?
Yeah, you do. You do. For the community.
Fine.
Oh, you can.
Mute Jan. Mute Jan. You've got the mute button.
No.
Go for it, Chris.
Alright, Chris, come on, lead it. You've got to lead it.
Yeah, leave it, Chris.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday
to you.
Yeah, I told you that would be dreadful.
Hey!
Yep.
Hooray!
Well, there we
Isn't it
go.
great?
Huzzah!
Oh, she's a jolly good fellow.
We've just done something very nice for someone who's new to our community,
Yes.
and that's a good thing.
Yeah, and now she'll never
Or we just
partake in
ruined
the
her
community
birthday.
ever again.
Wait a minute. Isn't somebody else's birthday coming up in a couple of days here?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
But
there is.
I think that'll be a Friday night six-pack thing.
Awesome pre-recorded videos to play, to roll.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How much
Maybe
free time
I'll
do I have?
pre-recorded birthday messages for them. We can play them during the stream.
You're so mean, Jay.
Oh, we all knew.
Yeah, but they didn't.
They don't know.
Pandora's box has been opened.
Yeah, we opened up there.
And look, for anyone who is in the chat, there's one thing that Amanda really, 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 really wants for her birthday.
What's that?
She wants you to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
Yeah.
Join Mandy's Minions.
Yeah.
And she also wants to hear Sam do his rap. So
I do. So
make sure
everybody,
you
that would be
do
my
the same as
birthday
Sam.
present. Subscribe to Sam. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to get that video out of the way because that'll be such an easy video to post too. It'll be like a week off.
Hi, Bull.
Raven
And I look forward to
says,
seeing everyone's reactions.
Raven says all her future birthdays are now canceled.
What day is that? What day is that, Jay? Just so I
We'll
can
just
strike
make
it off
the
the
date up.
calendar.
Oh, no.
No, just so I can take it off the calendar, Jay. What day was
No,
it?
no.
We'll figure it out.
Hey, hang on. Isn't
Other ways.
Raven's birthday in July?
Huh?
Is it Raven's birthday's in July, isn't it?
I'm not saying when her birthday is. I sleep during the day while she's awake.
Uh-huh.
And no.
You're afraid she's going to kill you in your sleep? Is that what you're saying?
She would.
Yeah,
I
Jay,
believe
is it on Facebook?
I don't know.
You know what you should have done? You should have checked before asking.
No, because Raven might block me now on Facebook.
She's frantically hitting buttons as we speak.
I promise, Raven, I am not going to let anyone know. That did not sound honest at all, did it?
No.
God is my witness.
I'm sitting here. I
celebrate your
don't believe you.
Yeah, we're not even allowed. When you go to a restaurant, let them know that hey, this is person's birthday. Yeah, no, I'm not allowed to do that either. That's like divorce right there.
She just said it's in July in chat, so.
Yeah, but do we believe her?
Hey,
I've got no
there's only
reason not
30
to.
days.
Yeah, true.
There's only 30 days that we need to keep going, and we'll get one of them.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Had Jay, and what I was expecting Jay to say, because I just picked a random month, was nope. And I go, right, we've narrowed it down to 11. And I went a bit sheepish. I'm like, holy shit, I guessed it. So you know
I don't
what?
know. I don't know if she's being quite honest about it, though.
Regardless, I just want to announce that on my channel, July will be Raven month, and every day we are going to sing "Happy Birthday" to Raven
Every single day.
And there'll be one
tell us.
We'll get a different creator to do a happy birthday for it, and we'll play it each day.
You know what? I think that is brilliant. Poor Jay, I can see the sweat running off his.
Jake was disappearing after this stream. We never hear from him again. We wonder what happened.
We've just destroyed the community.
Yep, so the community was really good. Unfortunately, we got one of our own killed. So, knowing Jay.
Yeah, she said it's not July. She said it, not me.
Okay, so that's one down. 1 month down.
Well, that's all right. Well, July's still Raven month, so
Yeah, we
Is it in
can
June?
still have a Raven month, even if it's not the right one.
yeah.
Raving for Raven.
Yeah,
Until she tells us
Oh, I like
differently.
that'll
As
be good.
Julie said,
But-
very merry unbirthday. Although that was to Critical Cripple. So.
No, look, and all seriousness, and I know that's a bit of a laugh doing the happy birthday thing, but Ed is a new part of our community, and he's someone I've gotten to know in the last few weeks, and I actually quite like him. He's going to be on Six Pack with us actually on Friday, and I think he's someone who can contribute a lot to the community. But that's the thing. The community is always changing and it's evolving. I mean, there's people who are coming in, people who come out, I guess, but it's always important that we stay as connected as we can.
I love how you put that. I actually do like him. As opposed to...
You are all welcome.
We love
Actually, it's Chris Mallard is the one to thank because he's the one that introduced me on his show. So, yeah. But, I think Ed has got a really good take and a completely different take than everybody else has got.
Well, because he came through a different way.
Yeah, he came through it.
Different, so...
Yeah, but the way he came through is and come out the other side. I believe so much for the better. Makes his completely. I mean, because I don't know anybody else that's got the story that he's got.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So for me, it's kudos just for the fact that he's willing to come out and be open about it. So. Yeah,
that's the other thing I really like about our community, though. There is such a wealth of different perspectives on things and different sets of experiences. So the more we grow that, the more that when new people come and look for somebody to help within the larger community, they're going to find people who have similar experiences in various things and can help people grow and get better, which is one of those things you need with a community. I mean, I hate to take it back to comparing it to religion, but one of the things that really keeps people within a religion is that sense of community, the fact that they can meet people who, oh yes, we've got this faith in agreement, but we've also got these other things that interest us, and that's what we need. We need to have the overriding interest that different people have within the group, plus the core things that we believe in and we want to do within the community. So I think it's very important that we build that community as much as we can. I mean, I know we've all been slowly looking at ways we can change our... Well, I mean, Amanda's new to her channel, so she's got lots of new wonderful ideas, but we've been looking at ways we can change the content we've been making to make it more versatile. It's one of the reasons why Amanda and I started doing Critical Bitches, so that we can have different people on and get different perspectives and just have some good conversations with people. It's why I wanted to do this show, so I could have different groups of people on and discuss a topic and get to the roots of it and use it as a focus group almost. And and that's the kind of thing I want to work towards, ways that we can have focus groups where we can build ourselves as a community and be stronger both individually and as a group together.
Yeah, well said. And something you said there that I think is important. With Amanda, she's kind of new to the streaming side of things, but she's very much been a part of the community for a long time. I mean, she's always been in the streams on Twitter, always engaging. So just because people aren't sitting in front of a camera doing this doesn't mean that they aren't very much a part of the community. You know, I mean, I'm looking in the chat, and there's people I can see in the chat who, you know, we do engage with on a regular basis, and who are very much part of the community. In fact, Digital Demonic Davros has just pointed out that he hears that kidneys are very cheap near where Jay lives. So that's
well, I mean, Donna's been in the chat there, and Donna's appeared in two streams. Our Critical Bitches stream, and also on a communications video on both on my channel. And she's not somebody who makes her own things, but she's somebody who has a voice and wants to get on people's channels and share her story and be a strong part of the community. And I think that's wonderful. So us having these platforms, us having the ability to make these different shows where we can get different people on and talk to them, is great, not just for those of us who are already making content so we can chill each other out, but also for bringing on people like Donna, who don't have their own channel, aren't really thinking about doing it, although maybe in the future they will. But we can bring them on and we can hear their voices, because you, the viewers, the people who watch these channels who don't make their own content, you are just as important as any of us. You have a voice too. You have a story to be told. You have an input to the greater community. And if you don't want to have your own platforms, hold up your hand and say, hey, look, I'd love to come on. I'd love to share my story. And talk to myself, talk to Amanda, talk to Sam, talk to Chris, talk to Jay. And one of us will platform you. Multiple of us might platform you if you've got multiple stories you want to tell. And then you can come on and bring your stories to life for the community. Because it's nice being able to tweet to each other on Twitter, or if you're in Discord, talk on Discord and type to each other. But to get in a one-on-one or a couple-on-one situation where you can actually get as close as face-to-face without us being in the studio together, a face-to-face where we can talk with each other, we can go in depth with your stories as much as you want to share it, and we can do this backwards and forwards, and we can have the interaction of the chat. That makes you part of that community even more so, and it lets people know a little bit more about you. And with that, you reach out and you make more friends, you make more contacts, you become an integral part of this big community that we're trying to grow. And I've just whacked my hand on the desk.
Well, nobody has to feel alone, and I think part of sharing helps you feel less alone, but it also makes us feel less alone as well, because like I said earlier, you know, before Angel and I joined this community, it felt like we were the only two people out here like this, and luckily we were able to reach out and meet new people. Chris was the one who actually kind of coaxed me into this community, I guess.
I'm sorry, everyone. That was me.
It was all completely
Screw you,
Chris. It was all his fault.
You're the one that brought this bitch in.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Blame Math Pig.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
that's
right,
right.
Math Pig.
Math Pig.
Math Pig.
Well, yeah, it's always Matt Pig's fault, but yes. But I'm just saying, we all get to share, and none of us have to feel alone. And I'm gonna go back to my corner now.
Hell no! Get out of your corner.
Yeah, get out of your corner, Amanda. We
This is
love
Jen's
having you
corner,
on
not
this.
Amanda's
Yeah, this
corner.
Is my
Yeah,
corner,
no,
not
no.
your corner. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but
And-
Jen has her
and
little
you're-
corner. I have my crying corner. So
I've cried in this corner. Trust me.
okay. No, but thank you, Chris. I love you. Thank you.
Okay.
Shut up now.
But look, Amanda, you've got a lot to contribute. Like you really do. I know that you're the quiet one, but that will change. You know, I've noticed every stream you become a little bit more vocal, and that's good. It's pretty soon we'll have to hit the mute button on you. That's okay. Well, actually, no. We'll probably be begging to come on your channel because you will get to that 1 million subs. I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
convinced.
Okay.
Yeah, she's gonna have more subs than the rest of us combined.
Oh gosh, yeah. We'll be begging her. She'll be going. Atheist Pastor. Never heard of the guy. No, Jen's little what's that? What's that? Tavern Sam? No idea. No. She'll be hobnobbing it with the big wigs, but that's okay. It's people will come back and watch this and remember when before she was famous, I guess. But in all seriousness, you do contribute a lot, and with your background, especially your background in science.
Wait, sorry. Is she a science? Is she a scientist?
Yeah.
No, I think she
I
watched.
needed a climate scientist the other day on Twitter, and I was just like, "What the fuck?"
I don't know a single one of them at all.
Well, climate change is a hoax anyway. So I mean, we all know that, of course. But
You know what's really nice, Amanda, is that when we have the 5 of us together, the smartest people in the room are us.
we all bring different things.
Oh,
Hey,
Jay,
no. I saw her
It's
5 jobs. I saw Amanda's 5 jobs, and I am not going to debate that point with Jen. I don't know if I saw your 5 jobs, Jen. So I'll
no, I'm
considering
nowhere
mine were
near
like
I am
church
nowhere
cleaner.
near as-
travel agent.
I am nowhere near as qualified as Amanda. My qualifications are in computer engineering and maths, and I never finished my maths degree. So yes, I've got good qualifications and a good general knowledge, and I understand my science and maths and physics and everything. But yeah, I don't have anywhere near Amanda's qualifications. She really eclipses all of us.
I think we've all got different qualifications. For a moment of sobriety, we're all very different in what we.
Oh yeah, and that's one of the things I really love about it, because you get the 5 of us together, and there's a whole gamut of different stuff that we can cover, because our general knowledge, whilst it crosses over in a lot of it, we cover a vast array of topics, which I think is brilliant when we want to cover something in depth. We can generally do it, and if we can't do it, there's such a vast array of talent within the community that you can usually find what you need. You know, like people like Dave, who's his, as in Critical Cripple, his qualifications aren't too much different from mine, but he's got some levels of experience in certain things that I'm lacking, mostly because I'm in Australia and I didn't have to do the same sort of things. And it's great because I've got this resource. If I'm trying to do something, I can call on for that, or and he can offer an extra perspective onto something. It's the same with all the people within our community. There's such a wide array of talent there that we can draw on for getting to the bottom of things. Like if we want to investigate something deeply, we've got the people who can do it, and I think that's amazing.
You know what I like more than that, though? What I like more than that is the people that are just there.
Oh, yes, I agree.
The people that are always there in the chat, the people that are always there on Twitter, that like, you know, I know sometimes it can be intimidating for people when atheism and like skeptic communities as a whole, sometimes it can be really intimidating to push into it because you see a lot of the really highly qualified, really intelligent presenting personalities, and you sort of think, well, shit, what can I offer? Like, you know, where do I fit in this sort of story or this community? But the reality is that those people that we look to as being like, you know, experts in their fields and stuff, and experts in things that atheists and, you know, secular humanists are often really interested in. Like, that's really important stuff, but that's like the icing on the cake. That is, you know, people that are getting together and sharing their life experiences. Because it might be one thing that, you know, I've got a qualification in something, but it's another thing when there's someone that's there and is like, you know what, they care about the people that are around them, that, you know, tweet them, that chat them, that, you know, are in these hangouts together, that are in the YouTube chats. And I've found that that's something that's really consistent in broad terms over the spaces that I've shared with other people in this type of community as well. So I don't want to, I just want to shout out to those people as well.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that.
And normally I would say that that my mum thinks I'm the coolest person here. However, unfortunately for me, my mum thinks Jen's the coolest person here.
Well, I
if
think
you're
Amanda
watching,
will probably overtake me eventually. So
I was gonna say one of these days I'm gonna make your mom love me more.
No,
One of these days.
I think my wife likes you more than she likes me.
Well, yeah.
I remember.
I'll
I remember
take that.
joke about the American Wife first came out, and you said, "Oh, it's not going to upset Lissy." I went, "Nah, she'll probably blow the plane ticket." So, and I think if it wasn't for the coronavirus, she'd probably have sent me over to you by now. But no, she likes you better. So, I mean, look, I've got a few kids. Hopefully, one of them will like me better than you guys. But you know, I think my son's
they'll
probably going to be more
love Jay.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I reckon my oldest daughter would think that that Jay's pretty funny. But my young bloke, he'd probably like Sam. So, you know what? I've got a third.
Once my rap comes out.
Oh, once your rap's out, mate, none of us have got any chance. I mean, what hope have we got at that point? So, and Lissy's just yelling out that our youngest is actually going to prefer Jen. So, you know what? I'm just happy to be here and to be everyone's second favourite.
Well, that actually works out, doesn't it? If
no one's favourite, but on average, you're liked more.
You're liked more. Yeah.
Yes.
You're
I'm
my
number
favorite,
2.
Chris.
Oh. She says
didn't strap you this time.
Social distancing. Social distancing.
6 feet. 6 feet.
Yeah.
She's just
No, in Australia, it's 1.5 meters, Jay. We use the sensible system, the one that's, you know,
what's
base 10.
It's like
What is 1.5 meters?
It's just under 6 feet.
Just under.
Yeah.
Nah, it's 5 foot.
Yeah, Chris,
Well,
I'm not a
technically
calculator. I was just
just
giving you a vague idea. I'm 6 feet. 6'3". Anyway,
We're Americans. We have to do everything the difficult way. So
freedom units.
Yeah, freedom units.
Yeah, what? Get on the metric. I mean, what's wrong with you?
Technically, they
you're
are on the
getting
metric because all their imperial system is
All that
defined in
science
metric
stuff,
units.
All the science and stuff. Science papers use
Yeah.
metric. So.
Yeah.
I do all of my stuff in metric, but when talking about height or whatever.
My job finally converted everything to metric last year.
I bet it saves money in errors. Surely it must.
Right. Yeah.
Well, they probably
Just move the decimal
now.
point.
It wouldn't have done when they first did it because too many people would have been mixing.
Oh yeah, no, but like equal proficiency, you'd think less errors when just move the dot left or right.
I mean, let's face it, NASA couldn't even get it right. They lost a multi-billion-dollar set of probes that they sent to Mars because one group did it in imperial and the other group did it in metric, and they screwed up.
Yeah, that wasn't exactly a proud moment for us, but okay.
Were you actually working there at the time?
No, I mean for America in general.
Yeah.
No.
That's on a resume.
Yeah, on a resume. Fucked up calculations by confusing systems.
Totally my bad.
My bad, sorry.
I didn't work for the shuttle program, so just so everybody knows. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty dumb in this conversation, but it's okay.
What are you talking about, Jay? You know everything about everything. Come on.
No, I
Yes,
don't.
you do.
You start going science, my brain shuts off.
I think that's the only
Science
reason why Jay likes having me on his shows.
Science and politics, my
science.
brain just goes click.
And Chris, you speak a million times better than
Any
well,
of us.
yeah.
it's 'cause
any
he's
of them
Except for
really
maybe
was
Sam,
definitely me.
because Sam's got that. Sam's got that
He's got that
early
deep
morning
sexy
radio voice, don't you, Sam?
He's got that deep sexy voice.
Yeah, I made a someone's mum swoon in Toastmasters when I was in high school. So
Yeah, you know that early morning radio voice that just relax, sit back.
as long as you're not going to say a Triple J DJ, because they are the worst people in the world.
No, I meant the one that the old folks listen to when they get up in the morning.
Oh, that's even worse.
Oh, Alan Jones.
Yeah.
Sam's Alan Jones.
As long as it's not Stacey from Triple J. God, he puts me to sleep.
Well, you know what? I think it's fair to say that
No offense, Stacey, if you're listening.
Sam's got the voice for radio. I've got the head for it. Took you a second.
And nobody argued.
Well, actually, Lissy did. Lissy went no in the background, but she has to say that because otherwise, I don't know. No, actually, there's no otherwise, but she just has to say it.
It's in the contract.
It's in the contract, that's right.
It's in the vows.
Yeah, there's 1.5 meters of social distance, and she has to be nice to me.
Yeah,
it's good.
Build that to your part.
Well, I don't know about the be nice to you part, but 1.5.
No, sorry, it's the other way around. I've got to be nice to her.
There you go.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's all right. See, the phone.
Safety, Chris.
You know what? I should have stayed a Christian because when I was a Christian, it was the man was in charge and all that good kind of stuff. Well, I became an atheist and I got demoted. I mean, far out. I'm reconverting.
You realized
What's it to Hinduism?
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually yeah. No, I'm that's right. I'm Hindu now, so that's all good. We're okay.
Oh, hail Lord Ganesha.
Shiva.
I'm more a Vishnu kind of guy, but
Shiva the Destroyer.
Yeah, trust you to know that, Sam.
Speaking of which, have you heard from your secret admirer lately?
No, we sent all these people after me, and I was starting to think he was in love with me, but I haven't heard from him. But I think I'm closing in on 1,000 views on that video.
Oh,
wow!
That's
very
great.
Nice.
Are you serious?
See that's
1,000?
That's the thing. It's another community thing. I mean, the community got so behind that
Big time. I was blown away with that.
That Darth has sort of backed off from attacking anyone in our community lately because he got made a fool of.
You know, the funny thing is Chris's videos get more views than mine is, and I'm the one that posted it. It was on my channel, and the mirror is doing better than the actual original post.
Are the titles much different?
I'm at 577 views on mine.
Yeah, I'm at 924. I did call mine.
How much was yours, Jay?
577.
Oh wow! So Chris is on nearly down. Chris is honing in on my most viewed video. Oh wow!
Ooh.
That's your.
That's all right. Nothing
that's
else
my
is
one
even
about
close.
Mona, yeah.
He's almost as many views as my most viewed video if you divide it by the number of people that were involved.
Yeah.
Sam and I will sit in our corner over here and be quiet.
Views per capita.
Views per capita.
You'll have 1,000 in the live stream in about 2 weeks, Amanda.
I think mine's getting close to 2,400.
Oh, yeah, 2,400.
Most viewed. Yeah.
It's like, don't want to brag, but
I finally got 2 videos over 2,000, so I'm happy.
But,
nice.
I mean, in all honesty, that doesn't even matter that much, really. I mean, it's nice to have the views. It's nice to have more so, but it's even nice that I have the people in the chat. Like we've got 20 odd people watching at the moment, and
that's pretty good.
That's
hey,
nice.
People.
It's nice to see you guys here, especially as it's such a shit time for people in the US. Sorry, Amanda. Sorry.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
Jay.
I was listening anyway. And Jay's always up with his time, so he's fine with it.
But it's so nice to have a nice group of people here who are listening, who are being part of it in the chat, who are contributing to being part of the community, because you're all very important. And I can't stress this enough, that how important this community is to me personally, and I think for everybody who's part of this stream.
Confirm.
It is very important, not just our little personal part of this community. I know we all sort of go off in our own little circles within the community itself, but the bigger community does pull together when it's needed. I mean, that was seen last year with the stuff that happened with Rachel Oates. It was seen last year with the things with the Pumpkin Posse and etc. etc. I mean, there's been lots of
NFIB stuff.
Sorry?
The NFIB stuff that really hit everything everywhere. It was really cool.
And I find it's very encouraging to see the way we come together as a community, the way we all support each other, down to when people have horrible things happen and they have to reach out to the community to help, like when Ansgar's car got crashed into and his insurance wouldn't cover it, and we all got behind and helped support. And there's been other situations like recently Purple moving.
Yeah, Purple moving.
That was such a big and important one, and so important given what had happened to Purple. It's like, we are a community that cares about each other. We're a community that is prepared to back up how much we care for each other with in support, both financial and emotional, where we can. I mean, it's not like you have to dig into your pockets and help people out if you can't financially do it. And nobody should ever feel that's a requirement, which I think is one thing that's better about our community than a church where people are encouraged every week to shove money in the collection bowl. This isn't about that. This is about helping where you can, where you have the money and the capability, or even just the emotional support, even just a retweet to help somebody out when they're struggling, they have a difficulty. And this is one of the things I love about our greater community, is that we're always there for each other. We're always there to support the Christmas fundraising that the Big Mob did with Shannon, Paul, Vice Rhino, Telltale. Who else was involved?
GE, I think, was involved.
Yeah. Their big fundraiser. They raised a shit ton of money to help people out at Christmas. Shannon's fundraiser to help people in the name of
Wasn't she doing scholarships for
people?
Yeah, it was to donate to a school under, was it Locke or Anderson?
No, it was under what's his name from
Ken Ham.
Ken Ham, but not as Ken Ham, as what's Ken Ham's son-in-law?
Answers in Genesis.
Answers in Genesis. Yeah, okay. That's right.
But not for Answers in Genesis. It was actually donated under Brody. Is it Brody?
Oh, Brody.
Yeah.
Oh, Brody. Yeah.
Under
Brody's
name,
his stepson.
He came up with the whole thing of
sexual humanists.
Yeah, sexual.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, I just love that. The fact that we got behind that. We bought the shirts. If you could afford it, you donated money, whatever. And we all, I mean, a large number of people within the community helped out. And if they couldn't financially help out, they retweeted. They got people going on stuff like that. And these are beautiful things to do. They are actually helping other people within the community and showing the world that we as atheists, as non-Christians, can and do support others within the community, as well as offer a good sound support for ourselves. And I think that's incredibly important.
It's going to be something that's like really important coming up as well, because there are going to be people, like, obviously our community is from all parts of the world, and there are countries that are already really tightly locked down. And when people are losing access to their normal day-to-day lives, people are going to be more prone to feeling anxious and, starting to really feel pressure from the situation. And having these online supports open and being available and, creating spaces like this where we have hangouts and where it's not just about those of us that are, on cam at the moment, but the community that's in the chat, and having those spaces for people to feel support and feel connected, I think is going to be really important coming up. So it's good that we have started to grow in the last 3 months in terms of other people joining, like Amanda and, like you guys that are starting to do more shows and stuff, and like making sure that people have access to those spaces more. Like we can't have a youth shed down the road like Christians do because we're global. But we can create online spaces that people can connect into, hopefully, to get people through the, tough times ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not to be a downer, but
No, Ed also says, and this community shows we can have morality and ethics without a religion.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Amen to that.
So I do want to give a thank you because I didn't expect to get the support that I got for my mic. I figured it was going to take forever to get a new one, and I think it was up like a week. And I had more money. We actually were able to get more than what
you were planning.
We originally planned for. So I mean, I've got the mic stand with the Yeti and the foam and the blocker and the whole 9 yards.
Awesome.
So,
fully pro.
Yeah, it's fully pro. It took a little bit to get it to figure out what buttons were what, because this is the only instructions we got. That was it. It's like, well, what do these do?
Where does that thing go into what thing?
Yeah, that was the only instructions. But it's like, we paid a lot of money for this. You'd have thought the instructions would have become a little bit more, more instruction, but no.
It'll be a PDF on a website somewhere.
Yeah, probably. So what I had to do is I had to like do a setting, record something, listen to it, do another setting, record something, listen to it. I'm like, okay, this one sounds really good. No, not that one. But yeah,
the love heart. If there's a love heart on it, that's the one you want.
One thing I'll say as well about the community I've noticed is a lot of the bigger channels will support the smaller channels. Like, I've had shout outs from GE, Shannon and Paul have both sent me messages of encouragement. I've had Steve McRae pop in a couple of times. Yeah. It's so there is that the bigger YouTubers in the community, they do, I guess, remember us smaller channels from time to time. And hopefully if we grow, we'll do the same thing. I'd like to think that...
I would like to think we would be the same people. Yeah. I would like to think that we could still have a chat like this, either with us or with the new and upcoming people in the future, talking about how the community's grown and what the community's achieved. Because I can only see it growing from here. I can only see us doing better as a community, and ultimately... Well, we need it. We need to support each other. We need to grow as a community because irreligion is one of the fastest growing things in the world. So we need to support these people coming out. We need to provide resources. We need to provide safe places for these people to come to, learn, and feel community. Now, I know these things have been there in the past because you've got the atheist community of Austin and things like that, but even though they've got online presence, the ongoing community of that is very centralized to where they are. And what we need to do is build this global community that enables everyone to feel like they have a home, that they have people they can come to, that they can make friends, that they can be part of discussion, be part of the growth of the community as a whole. And I think that's very important, that we promote that we encourage that we look for a stronger, better future for us as creators and as a community.
Yeah. It is important that everybody feels like they have a voice. You're saying about the atheist community in Austin. They kind of have this, peak and they have their big names and everything, but it's hard to, even if you live in Austin or Texas at all, it's hard to really get your voice in there. I have a couple friends in Austin, but to be able to do this and to have people online that I'm not gonna say you're equals, but people you feel like you can talk to and communicate with and share with.
Exactly.
I think that's really important.
But that being said, I think we've got to be careful. I don't want to knock the atheist community of Austin, because that was one of my portals into this world.
I'm not knocking them at all. I'm just saying.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's but I think it's important to remember they're the atheist community of Austin, and we're not all in or around or near Austin. And they've certainly got a global outreach, but I think you do need some of that more localized or different outreach, because the issues that happen in Austin are very different to the issues that happen, in New South Wales where I am, or or where any of us are, because we're all from different parts of this beautiful world. So, there's people who will be watching this who, are in the Middle East, or who are, in India or places like that, where it's a very different situation, and this can potentially be the only contact or communication that they have. So I think it's very important that we continue to do this, but other voices in the community start doing it as well. Even if it's just being involved in chat, talking. If you see someone new in there, have a conversation with them. Say hi. We used to say that in church. We'd have a break right after we got the tithe out of everyone. We'd say, go and have a look around and say hi to someone new. Say hi to someone you've never met. And I think that's what we should do. We should go and say hi to someone we haven't met. So if there's anyone who is sitting in there that hasn't said hi, please say hi, and we want to get to know you. We'd love to get to know you as a person.
I've noticed that every time, like especially on Twitter and stuff, when someone new is in the community, everybody is very welcoming and open arms. Oh, welcome. Great to have you here. Tell us about yourself, and they genuinely care about the new person's story and their journey and want to hear from them, and that's really great as compared to churches maybe that are just there for the numbers and whatnot. We actually give a shit and want everybody to be involved, even filthy Buddhists like you, Jay.
I want to bring up a question that Junk Shop Library asked in the chat, which was, who is your favorite new and or small channel in the community? Now, his is Godless Granny. And now I think most of us are going to say it's Amanda. But,
so excluding Amanda.
If we exclude Amanda from it because we all love Amanda and she knows we love her, who are you picking out amongst the new people?
See, mine's not new, but someone
I've small as well, not just new.
Yeah, it's not even necessarily small, but it's someone I've come across recently. Godless Scummer. I really enjoy Godless Scummer.
Yeah, Jeff is awesome.
Yeah, it's and I've had conversations, but I've never really sort of engaged too much with his channel. He's got some really cool content. I really like his stuff. So, I guess for me that's probably one that I enjoy. And the only other one apart from that that's new, the Daily Atheist.
Oh yeah, well, no longer little. He dwarfs all of us. Even Jack.
No, he doesn't dwarf me. He's a little taller than me.
He's a little taller than you.
Mine's got to be Ed, grumpy old dude. I think what he's building. Because he's going after the hate, which I don't see. A lot of people. You don't see it a lot. You see it. But I think it's the hate with the religions and certain organizations that it is so vitriol about it. And the fact that he's taking on the hate, I think is a great way to go. And I think he's doing it really well.
Yeah, he is.
Sam?
What counts as small or new? I don't know when people started necessarily. But are we talking like under 10K, under 1K?
Let's go with under 1K.
And the
Whatever you
1K.
feel.
Because Chris kind of pushed it out there by doing Go the Atheist. So.
What's his subscriber?
Last I seen, he was 714.
Yeah. He's heading out towards 750.
I think my favorite, as in the one that I'm watching with the most interest at the moment, is probably Godless Unicorn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because she's so genuine and really transparent. So it's sort of really just interesting. So I've really enjoyed those videos a lot. It's something that's, I don't know if rare is the right word, but a lot of us do curated, scripted, or at least very focused content on like ideas or themes. But she does very personal stuff. It's kind of like a mini Rachel Oates. In the way she presents herself, I think. So I shouldn't say that because that sounds like, oh, she's just doing what Rachel does. And that's not true.
Yeah.
But like, no, yeah, she's presenting herself. She's putting herself in her YouTube channel. And that's something that I really enjoy in my creators. So,
And I think she's interesting because her fiance, I think, is Christian, isn't it?
it's Christian, like I believe a devout Christian. And they talk openly about, the fact that she's an atheist and he's a Christian.
Yeah, no, I've seen her stuff. I enjoy that.
If I had a spanner, I'd put a link to her channel in the chat, but I'm sure Dave can look after that for me.
Well, Jen
Maybe
doesn't.
if I ask nicely.
So what about you, Amanda? I mean, we all love Amanda's channel. I mean, that's the obvious one. What about you, Amanda?
I guess medium channel, like it's not very small. Is Math Pig, obviously. Small channel, who should absolutely have more subscribers is One Ring. So
Yeah. Oh, how good's One Ring's content?
awesome.
Seriously. If you want something different, so I don't consider One Ring. I know he subcounts a bit. I sort of consider him. I don't know, because I've been watching his stuff for so long. He's like one of my. He's almost like one of my YouTube heroes. I mean,
he's one of us, so it's really hard to. We haven't been including each other in this, but we all sort of fit in that group anyway.
He does the best voices too. So
he does.
No one does it. He does the best Hovind. I think he does a better Kent Hovind than Kent Hovind does.
Yeah, probably.
Because he talks more sense.
You know who does a really good Hovind? Dr. Josh from Digital Hammurabi.
Oh yes, actually, he is pretty good too.
He does a great Hovind. I mean, it was to a point where Nonsec even had that at the beginning, where they play his little clip at the beginning of him talking his Hovind before the show started. It was great.
I missed Nonsec.
Yeah. They definitely left open a void when all that shit went down.
Yeah, very definitely.
It's funny actually because I realized, I think I said before that I got dragged into the community through Paul's videos, I think, but the actual link was I was watching flat Earth videos, like the debunks, obviously. The first one was Cool Hard Logic. Doesn't put out a lot of videos, but they're so funny and so amazing. Like just his deadpan reading is like perfect, and that sort of led to all the other stuff, which led to Nonsec and the Friday Flatter, whatever.
Saturday Night Fights.
Yeah, that's it. And then seeing like Shannon Q pop up and stuff, and then away we go.
Yeah, that's everything else. Mine was the same way. I was watching a thing with Ricky Gervais that went into Stephen Fry that transitioned into Hard Raw, which transitioned into Nonsec, and then it was all over from there.
I'd probably go with a couple of people who are in the chat at the moment, and that would be Julie and Junk Shop.
I really like Junk Shop, and so I found out what happened why he wasn't there Saturday. He laid down to take a nap and slept all night.
Something you yourself have done.
Maybe.
I mean,
hey Sam, you're at 1:30.
Oh really?
You got 20 to go.
Well done, Sam.
It might be my next video. I should find that rap thing again and download it to make sure it doesn't disappear. I've got a bookmark somewhere.
Can we get Sam to 150 in this stream? I mean, I know it's a push. Can we?
I think there's a lot of subs in the chat already.
We've only got
No.
20-odd people
Forget-
watching. So
We've
yeah,
got-
getting
we've
in
got
there is going to be a
people
bit hard.
Here's what I want everyone to do, okay? And because Sam, you will do this live in the stream. Everyone, get the link and tweet it. Tweet it to everyone you know. Tell people to sub. Open up new YouTube accounts if you need to.
No. I want my
Please
engagement
don't do
rate. So I
that.
want my click through to stay at 5 or 6%.
Well, speaking of new channels, though, don't forget Dave is starting stuff.
Dave's new channel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
hell
want to
yeah.
put a special shout out to Dave. He has worked his butt off creating new scripts for us to be able to use to do better productions with
Oh, hell
StreamYard
yeah.
and other apps. And it is absolutely amazing. I realized he did a lot of the work with himself in mind, but he's actually added a lot of features that other people want. And just absolutely amazing, Dave. You know I love you. You're absolutely brilliant. And yeah.
Dave is one of those.
life so much easier. He's a
We love you,
linchpin. Dave is a linchpin of this community. Dave
Jen!
gets us together and stuff.
Stop interrupting Chris. God damn it.
What happened? What did I miss?
You were trying to say something and she was interrupting you. Fine. Fuck you. I won't stand up for you either.
No, I didn't hear what was going on. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome.
I'm going to be quiet now.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
getting
fine.
I'm getting laughed at over here. You guys can probably hear her on
No,
the
we
mic.
can't hear that loud and clear.
No, not at all.
Hear the cackle coming through. Yeah, I know she's having a good old time, but that's all right. Jen, you can interrupt me anytime you like because my mum said so.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but no, I was going to say, like Dave is one of the linchpins. But have you noticed when he comes into streams lately with his background in his head, it's very Doctor Who.
I was thinking more
He is
on
very
Wizard
into
of Oz.
sci-fi.
I was thinking more Wizard of Oz.
Oh, I was
too.
actually thinking Red Dwarf.
What is
Like
that?
Crichton.
Everybody knows about Red Dwarf
Not
but me.
Crichton.
I don't.
Hey. Let's talk Lister,
Okay,
Cat,
good.
Crichton. Come on.
I don't.
Holly.
Shansky.
Holly.
I don't.
Holly.
You're here with nerds. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The service droids. Chicken noodle soup. Come on.
Dave is definitely Holly.
I'm offended.
Thank you, Jay. I'm not so alone.
I don't know Red Dwarf either. So
It's amazing.
Speaking of
It
which-
is amazing. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Okay. So for my TV show, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck I'm gonna call it, so I want to do Black Mirror with somebody. So anybody out there, I'm talking about to you all in chat too. If you know and like Black Mirror and want to come on my show and talk about it, please do.
Never seen it.
I'll just watch the first episode.
I've watched one episode. I watched the pig episode. Is the only one I've seen.
I think I've seen about 3.
That's not the best episode to watch, but okay. Oh,
I know,
well,
but that's the only one I've seen.
Star Trek one was pretty good.
yeah.
It was. I mean, that show is fucked up in a million different ways. It is really messed up.
My favorite episode was the happy one, though, the one where they go to the island. You probably none of you have probably seen it.
Nah.
So no, never mind.
Which Twilight Zone is it ripping off?
Oh,
I don't know.
All
Fucking mean, Sam. Jeez, fine.
Right.
Shut fired.
You're not invited. Damn it.
Wasn't putting my hand up for that one anyway.
I'm fine. I'll wait for your friend.
Make my own show with blackjack and hookers.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, when's that on?
Yeah, what's that one?
Pornhub, not YouTube.
Oh,
Is that on
Twitch.
Pornhub.
No.
Except
Pornhub.
Pornhub.
Already made the joke.
Junk Shop likes Black Mirror. He said Black Mirror is the shit.
Okay,
yeah, Julie has as well.
hit me up.
No, she said it was awesome, not the shit. I don't know which one supersedes.
Whoever wants to DM me, and you can come on and do it. I want to do it with someone. So
Well, getting to that, we've hit 8 o'clock, so we've been going
If you want to talk to Black Mirror, slide into Amanda's DMs right now.
Is the Black Mirror on the ceiling?
Look into the reflection. What do you see? You see a man, a pig, and Amanda wanting to talk about it.
anyway,
Me and Raven keep talking about watching it, but we just haven't got around to it.
Give it a chance. It's good. There's some episodes that suck, but some are really, really
We're
good.
watching so many other things right now, though. It's hard to creep in there. I
And then
mean,
you gotta keep up with all the YouTubey stuff. So I find
Yeah,
it
that's
really
my
hard
problem.
to keep up with anything. I haven't even watched
Yeah,
the series.
you guys
of
stop
Carbon.
making such good content.
Yeah.
Seriously, I've got so much TV to catch up on, but I can't because every week someone's putting out something that's too bloody good for me to miss, and I have to watch it and sit there and comment.
You're probably on half the things as well. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I mostly listen to YouTube, and that's how I sort of get through it. I listen to it at work because most of the time it's not super visually important to watch the screen because it's a lot of talking and stuff. And Netflix just dropped a whole bunch of Studio Ghibli films in Australia, which is really exciting.
Ooh, I'll have to check that out.
Actually, we're doing with movies now.
Miyazaki movies like Spirited Away. It's like in Japan, it's like the Disney equivalent in terms of popularity. But yeah, super exciting.
So with movies now, apparently they've announced because the cinemas are going to be closed, they're going to be streaming them, where you'll be able to buy a movie for 48 hours.
They only confirmed that for America so far, but I can't see them not doing it in other regions.
They're not going to risk it going on torrent sites.
Yeah, once it's streamed in America, I'll download it for free. Thanks very much in high definition.
Not that we.
I mean, I won't, but I could.
Anyone does it. No. We would never say to do that.
I stopped torrenting and all that when subscription services became more accessible. I literally stopped it all. I used to download everything.
Yeah. Or I would have if I ever torrented. I would have stopped when that happened. Sorry.
No, I did it. Come at me.
LimeWire.
No, not ATO.
LimeWire.
Oh,
LimeWire.
I remember LimeWire.
Yeah.
Kazaa. Come on, who's Kazaa?
Oh, Kazaa. Yeah.
You little pirates.
Hey, Sam. 133.
Oh, climbing. It's going to be there. Maybe it should be my next video because if I don't do a video this week, it'll be there by next week. Especially with six pack and stuff.
Yeah, no,
I've got to start mirroring stuff so I don't have to make a video every week and I can still have weekly content.
Well, Sam, when we do our show,
Yeah.
we can have it on both our channels. So.
Well, for weeks, I've been you know what, on Monday, I'm going to start live streaming some game or something. And I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I need to do it. Because I play games anyway, so I might as well stream it. And I've spent so much money on stuff to stream games. I've got a goddamn $400 not graphics card, a $400 capture card for my Switch and everything. So Animal Crossing, I'll stream Animal Crossing. That's what I'll do.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I think we've sort of got to the end of the main conversation anyway, so we might wind up in a bit. Well, start winding up now. So why don't we go in reverse order? And Chris can start because he actually didn't get a chance to shill himself before.
No, I didn't, did I?
So, go for it, Chris.
Okay, so I'm Chris. I'm the Atheist Pastor. Look, most of the content I do is community related. We do Friday night six pack it's Friday night for me, Friday morning for those of you in America, and I think it's kind of middle of the day in the UK. Yeah. Look, keep an eye on Twitter. You'll see when it's coming up. It's similar to this. It's a community conversation. We'll normally have a different person on each week or a different topic each week. This week we've got Ed, Grumpy Old Dude, on. So it's not one you want to miss because he has got the coolest story you'll ever hear. So what will normally happen is we'll have a chat to him. We'll hear his story. We'll ask him lots of questions. It's really engaging. And then we get drunk, which is the best part of all.
It's a process during the entire stream.
Including Jay.
Pretty sure you only decided to get drinking so you could get me drunk, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, it's to be honest, if and I've said this many times, if Jen's not on the show, we don't have the show. We don't bother. So
Jen is the foundation on which the show is hung every week.
You know what? Just like Jesus said to Peter, "You'll be the rock on which I will build this church."
You know what? I don't feel that responsibility.
You are the rock on which I will build six pack. No, but look, it's always really entertaining because it's always a good laugh. It's always good fun. And I've said it a lot of times. For me, it's the highlight of my week because it's when I hang out with my friends. It's when I hang out with the community. There's always interesting things and weird things happening in the chat. It's just a cool place to be. We do have Exodus Youth coming up, which I'll let Amanda talk about. But the other cool thing I've got coming up is community conversations, which is where I'm just going to be talking to people in the community. It's not deconversions or anything like that, but it's more about who they are in the community and why they do what they do, what drives them, what they hope for out of the community, and just who they are. I mean, we want to know people in the community. We want to know what makes everyone tick, I guess, for lack of a better term. But so everyone here will be on fairly shortly because I'm going to keep hassling them till they get on. There's a lot of people in the chat who will also be coming on. There's a few people I might have to drag kicking and screaming, but I will drag you kicking and streaming. That's very good.
Kicking and streaming.
Hey, that could be a good name for a show.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's actually a really
Why
good
don't you
name.
call it that? Kicking and
Now, we
streaming.
just need an idea to fit the name.
Yeah.
It's like a backronym.
That could be community conversations, kicking and streaming.
Yeah, kicking and streaming sounds great.
Because you could be
like
kicking
that.
it with your mates and streaming while you have a chat.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just isn't it funny how these things happen? So I've got that coming up, and look, I'm normally popping up because I'm a streaming whore who just shows up at anything.
You follow after Jen.
I think I'm getting a person, Jen.
Oh, I don't know.
You'll get there. You're almost there, but I don't know if you're there yet.
I think me and Jen could have a streaming whore off, and it would be interesting.
That would make an interesting stream, wouldn't it?
It would do. But no, look, I'm always popping up, and look, anyone who's in the community, if you want to have a chat, send me a message on Twitter or just get in touch with me. And even if you're not in the community, if you're someone who's religious and you want to try and save my soul, talk.
Good luck.
I'm open. Convince me. If your name's Darth Dawkins, get in touch. I'll happily talk to you again because you're worth a lot of you. But no, look, in all seriousness, anyone who does, if you need something and you're in the community, you just want, I mean, I'm a former Christian leader, so I've got that, I guess, that pastoral background. If you need someone to talk to, just come talk to me.
The comparison with a Christian pastor, it was really unflattering for you, Chris.
Well, I won't take you
because my initial thing was, so you're really good at pretending you give a shit. That's no. Sorry, having a dig at pastors, not you.
Sam, that's so awesome. You said that, man. Thank you. Yeah, that's really
No, that's let's pray about that. Can we just take a moment? We'll just seek Jesus for a moment, and I'm sure it'll be fine.
Are we going to end this stream in a prayer? Are we?
Should I go get Jesus? Should I go wake him up?
Thank you, Jesus.
Or this one,
Yeah,
we got Jesus.
We've got Jesus. Jesus is right over there.
That's a teenager in bed. You don't want to walk into that room.
Amanda, what have you got coming up?
Shill.
I don't wanna.
You've got more to shill than me. Come on.
Yeah, you got more going on. Like, you got to be a million subs soon. Get practice.
You've got 2 shows on this weekend that I know of, plus a video that you're going to re-record and re-edit.
So the climate change video, I have to re-record. The TV show starting this weekend, which I still need a name for. Anybody has any suggestions? Starting that with Jay, Exodus Youth with Chris, my game show with Sam, Critical Bitches with GE this weekend.
And me.
And well, I pointed at you. Well, I don't know which way you are.
Down from you.
That way. Okay.
Yeah,
The YouTube's a bit different to what we see.
Yeah.
And I'll be on Math Pigs on the 31st of this month. So I think that's about it.
Oh, can I do a real quick shill again?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to be on the 604 Atheist Wednesday afternoon his time, which is Thursday day my time. So in around about
this Thursday.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like this week or
we'll
next
see
week?
It. It'll be on Neil's list of shows coming up for the week, so you should be able to find it.
So watch me on that.
I'm going to be on Neil's next month on the 22nd, by the way. Too.
His show's a lot of fun.
All right. Sam.
So Sam, I am Vagrant Sam on YouTube and Twitter. Like I said, you can see a recent video about indigenous cultures and whether or not they have the right to refuse missionaries. Some other cool stuff to see on my channel is dealing with death and the idea of what happens after you die with BoJack Horseman. There's another cool video that I'd recommend is when I talk about myself being having very bad eyesight and dealing with the idea of a church saying you should be healed and not being healed. And if you would like to see what I'm doing next, I am working on a longer video than normal, which for me is quite long since it was about a month between my last two videos. But I'm digging up all my travel video from the last 2 years, where I've been to quite a few different cultural and religious festivals around the world. And I'll be doing a video where I discuss that in some form or another. I haven't come up with the narrative part of that yet, but I'm tossing around some stuff like comparative religious doctrines in terms of, how everyone looks at sin, human nature versus Christianity. And I'm toying around with the idea of whether or not rituals are valuable or beneficial to society if we remove them from the religious or supernatural effects that get attributed to them. So like whether or not we should still celebrate a religious festival if we remove away the religiosity and have it as a cultural artifact. So that's what I'm working on long term. And it looks like I'll probably also have a video about my dope Christian rhymes in the next week or two by the looks of it. So I'll probably will
I
be working
tweeted
on
that
that.
out just a minute ago.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Oh, if you do want a sneak peek of the travel video, if you jump on my Twitter and you just scroll back a little bit on my tweets, not my tweets and replies, just my tweets, I did post a little clip from my trip to Bali when I was there for Nyepi, which is their New Year celebration. So that'll give you a taste of hopefully it'll be an interesting video because it'll be a bit more visually engaging than some of my older stuff because I want to use some of that footage I've been taking for the last few years, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Awesome. Jay,
Very cool.
What?
what are you doing?
Sup, Jay?
What have you got?
Nah.
Who are you?
This week sometime. Hopefully, I'll get it recorded tomorrow. As long as I don't have one of these impromptu streams again.
Sorry.
My Night Stalker Richard Ramirez video. I said I tried recording it twice, but it didn't sound right. I don't know if I didn't have in the mood for it or whatnot. It sounded very blah. So I scrapped them both and I'm going to start over. I got that. Symbols is done. I just got to get that recorded too. I don't really have much more than that. Lately I've been more focused on the conversations I'm going to be having with people. So I know I am lacking on the video content.
Those conversations are really good, though.
Yeah. I really
it's been 1 week, but it went really well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one with GE. It was nice getting to know the guy, outside of what you normally see. Get some background on what's up, heathens, and the history behind the skeptic mafia and stuff like that. It was really cool, and that's what I want to. That's what I'm trying to get with these conversations is get to know the person more, without getting too personal.
Yeah.
And the reasons why they do what they do in KGE's case, how did the skeptic mafia, because that's a big part of his channel is the skeptic mafia, so that's one of the things I wanted. And then of course everybody likes the top 10 get to know you questions. So yeah, that's what I've got going on. The new mic, it seems to be working really well. Everybody says it sounds good, so that's good.
It does.
So the other thing is, check out Raven's Etsy shop. I posted the link in. She makes beautiful jewelry. The link is in the chat there. Check that out if you're into jewelry. Check that stuff out. Really good stuff over there. And if you, like I said, if you just want to help the channel out, buy a shirt. Go to Teespring, buy a shirt. Consider becoming a patron. For as little as $1 a month. So, but yeah, other than that, just be water, my friends.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. I should have a couple of videos out this week now that my shoulder's not fully healed, but a lot better. And I've actually got a little bit more time to organize stuff. I'll also be on Friday night 6-pack with Chris. On the weekend, of course, with Amanda with Critical Bitches. We should have another communications video out. I don't know whether it'll be during the week or on the weekend. Provided I get all the people confirming to do it, it should be very interesting, be very science-based, and should be really interesting. What do you want, Jay?
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah.
At some point, you're going to have a certain somebody on your communications that I'm really excited for. You just got to get with her and figure it out when.
Oh, yes. Well, I need
Really?
the actual other person to come on with that person, and I haven't got confirmation for the other person, so it's one of those things where I'm struggling occasionally to get confirmations back from guests. So that's why this week's show was a little bit improv, but I think it was also very important to cover this topic of how we can build our community and the importance of our community. So yeah, I should have a couple of videos out over the next 4 or 5 days. There'll be these lovely streams that you'll all see me in because I seem to be a complete and absolute stream whore. There's some new tools that will be coming out that I'm writing some more software that will go along with the stuff that Dave's been writing for creators that will enable us to do some more fancy chat-like functions, which will make productions that we use with OBS to get shows like this out look even more professional than what we can currently do. And I think that'll be good for us as a community to have this better, higher quality of show going out there is something good. And I also want to hear from people who'd like to come on and talk with me on communications. If you think you've got something interesting, an interesting topic you'd like to cover, you think should be covered, hit me up on Twitter, talk to me. Love to have people on, love to have discussions. I love to see the things that I can offer back to the community because I love this community. It's helped get me where I am. You've all been behind me so much, and I just want to give back. And that's what's really important to me now. So if you can hit me up, I'm definitely going to want to have you on. If you've got a smaller channel than mine, even if you've got a larger channel than mine, but our audiences don't completely cross over, or even if they do cross over, and you just want to be on, put your voice out there in a different format or in a different sort of way, hit me up. I want to have conversations with people. We can come at a topic with something that interests us and develop these conversation channels that we're all sort of moving into, because the conversations within the community are important enough for them to be put out there and then to be pointed to in the future. So, like conversations about cancer that we've had on here or dyslexia, they're very important and they're things that people can come back to and look at, and you can see that there are people in the community who understand these issues and can help you deal with them if you're somebody new coming in. So I want to have these conversations. I want to build us up, help build us up as a community, as I know everybody here does. So please reach out to me, reach out to Chris, reach out to Sam, reach out to Jay, reach out to Amanda, and anyone else who's in the community. Reach out to us if you want to be a part, if you want to have your voices heard, have a talk to us. I'm sure one of us can accommodate you in some way that we can have a conversation. So, and with that, I'd like to say thank you all very much for joining us. And I'm sorry, yes,
Jen,
Amanda.
Saying hi to Gary Priestley, who's relatively new.
Oh, hi,
so
Gary.
Just saying hi and welcome. Just okay, that's it.
Okay.
Gary seems pretty cool. We had an interesting discussion on Twitter where he was on one side of an argument, I was on the other, and we kind of agreed in the end. It was actually where two people from a different point of view got together and agreed on stuff, which never happens in social media.
Yeah,
but no, Gary seems like a cool guy, and he's been in a lot of the chat. So I'll say hello to Gary as well.
Yeah, and also like that, if you guys ever want, if anybody in the chat or you guys, obviously you guys know, but if anybody's got a topic or conversation that you need a platform, let me know. I've got the perfect. We'll sit down at the table. I'll moderate it, and you guys can talk amongst yourselves. You know, we've had the Darth Dawkins and the pizza debate, so you know,
two different debates to clarify.
Two different debates.
Dawkins, come back.
The point is, as a community, as us, especially us 5 content creators, we want to offer.
We're the other Fab 5.
and other people, but especially us, because we've been talking about this. We want to offer our platforms as a way to lift other people up and build up the community. So come to us. Don't come at us. Come to us.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, come at me, bro. And
Do you even live, bro?
and talk with us so that we can build people up, build up people who are part of the community, and have the conversations that the community actually wants, not just the things that we're interested in, but what you guys would like to hear. And we'll see if we can get the guests that we need. We can see if we can have you on to talk about these subjects that may or may not be important to you. I mean, I'm sure they're going to be important to you if you come to one of us and say, hey, look, I've got this idea. We're not going to turn you down. We're not going to say that's stupid. If it doesn't suit one of our channels, there's many of us in the community, and somebody's going to have a place where we can voice that topic and talk about it. So please come forward and talk with us, because you're part of the community too, a very important part of the community. There isn't a community without the people who are watching. And I know a lot of the people who watch are also content creators, but those who aren't, you're important too. So please come to us, and don't be afraid to use your voice. Come out to us. I know that's somebody else's tagline, but hey, GE's tagline actually.
Gee, yeah. Stand up and use your voice.
Yeah, stand up and use your voice. So yeah, please come to
Elevate
us
the discourse.
and talk to us.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Elevate the discourse.
So please come to us and have a great night, everyone, or morning, or whatever time of day it is, and we will hopefully catch you all at Six Pack. Bye.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Hey guys.
Deal.
Be water, my friends.